Welcome back to Tonight on Breaking. It's now 15 weeks to the 2023 general elections, and the US is evacuating its citizens from Nigeria. On October 23rd, the US issued a security alert of an elevated risk of terror attacks across Nigeria, and specifically in Abuja. The travel advisory urged Americans in Nigeria to avoid non-essential travel and crowds and to stay alert. The US said the attack might target government buildings, places of worship, schools, markets, and other places where foreigners tend to gather in Abuja. Days later, other countries like the UK, Canada, and Australia began to issue similar alerts to their citizens. Obviously, the alert sent instant panic to Abuja residents. But the federal government is like, chill, relax, everything is fine, we're on top of everything. Even after the DSS arrested 2 suspected terrorists at the Trademore Estate Dugbe in Abuja, the FG was still like, smile everybody, everything is fine. And of course, the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, had his own very special way of comforting us.
It's just like if Nigeria, mission in the US also sends a travel advisory or a warning, Houston, and say, look, don't take your children to school because there could be mass shooting tomorrow.
Lai Mohammed is saying in a nutshell, US, don't be dramatic. You have school shootings in your country, so mind your business. While he was reassuring us, the DSS was like, why are you people panicking? We have already warned you before. The day the security alert started making headlines, the DSS released a statement, and I quote, "The Department of State Services has received several inquiries relating to the security advisory issued by the US Embassy in Abuja today, 23rd October 2022. The public may recall that the service had variously issued similar warnings in the past." In my mind, I was like, when did that happen? I checked their website, and the last security alert I saw was back in July. They want us to remember what they posted on their website back in July. We don't even remember what happened last week. Moving on, last week Wednesday, the CBN governor, Godwin Emefiele, announced at a press briefing on Wednesday that the Nigerian Naira is getting a new design. The new design will be for 100, 200, 500, and 1,000 Naira bills, and the new bills will begin circulation on December 15 of this year. CBN told Nigerians to deposit all the cash we have into commercial bank accounts before December 15 to ensure that we can withdraw new banknotes in December. All banks are expected to keep their currency processing centers open from Monday to Saturday so as to accommodate all cash deposits. So for those of you hiding cash inside your walls, start figuring out how to move it. But just know that if you move it all at once, EFCC is coming for you. Moving on, last week, the presidential candidates were invited to speak at the 6th edition of the annual Voice of Women Conference and Awards in Abuja. The event was for presidential candidates to speak to women voters about their plans and commitments to integrate women into the national agenda. If you recall, a few weeks ago, Atiku Abubakar spoke about how important women are to PDP.
If you want a women problem to be solved, vote PDP.
That same candidate was absent from the Voice of Women Conference and Awards and didn't send any representatives. Instead, the event was attended by the APC's vice presidential candidate Kashim Shettima, Labour Party's presidential candidate Peter Obi, and presidential candidates from Social Democratic Party, Action Alliance, Young Progressive Party, and African Democratic Congress. Each candidate present at the event was given time to speak. Peter Obi spoke on the importance of women and promised to make more efforts to carry women along and bring them to the leadership table where decisions are being made. Kashim Shettima spoke on Tinubu's achievement of recognizing the role of women and how he had involved many women in public offices when he was the governor of Lagos State. He then spoke on how Tinubu will promote more female inclusion in politics and governance in his administration. To finish his speech, Shettima made this comment.
There are some of the candidates who see women as tools of pleasure, as chattels to be discarded every cycle to be replaced by a new lady. Unless the women of Nigeria have lost their senses or suffer from Stockholm syndrome, I see no reason why. When you have seen a winning team.
Wait, okay, guys, we need to unpack this. First of all, Shettima is throwing jabs at Atiku, who is currently married to 4 wives and has divorced 2 in the past. But let's be clear that Atiku's religion, Islam, allows him to have 4 wives. Shettima and Tinubu are also Muslims and they are entitled to the same limit, but they have chosen to marry only 1 wife each. But let's leave that aside and get to the major issue here, which is Stockholm Syndrome. As you know, Stockholm Syndrome is a condition where a person who is a prisoner or a hostage or any abused person begins to bond with their captors, hostage takers or abusers. So he's telling women that unless they have bonded with men who don't value them, which in his analogy is the PDP, then they should vote for APC. Let's remember that Stockholm Syndrome is a condition that develops after spending a great deal of time with an abuser. And we have all been locked inside with APC for nearly 8 years now. That's all for tonight on Breaking. I'm John Iwodi. Links to the full videos of the presidential candidates at the Voice of Women Conference and Awards will be down below. Don't forget to take your cash to the bank before December 15th in order to ensure you can convert to the new Naira note. Stay safe and thank you.